iPhone 15 Pro battery sucks. Yeah, so it's probably a really good idea that I picked up the iPhone 15 Pro Max while I was there since they had one in the store on day 3 now with this phone. And first day, I didn't really want to like sound any alarms or anything, but it really wasn't great. It came out of the box. I charged it up some while I was setting it up. I used it. I killed the entire phone that day. I had to put it back on the charger again by the nighttime. And yeah, it just didn't work out all that great. So I started off today with the full charge, and I got 4.5 hours of screen on time, basically just only using Twitter. I wasn't watching YouTube. I played 0 video games. I recorded 0 videos. I didn't use the camera at all. And yeah, 4.5 hours screen on time. I had 20% battery left. So about 5 hours probably is what you're going to get with this if you use it like any amount of time. So I had it off the charger for like 15 hours, 15, 16 hours. And yeah, 4.5 hours. That's all I got till I got to 20% battery, and like the battery saver mode little icon thing came. I was like, oh, low battery. That's basically what I got with the iPhone 14 Pro, which was the reason last year I went back and I got the 14 Pro Max, which I'm recording on right now, and probably going to have to end up using the 15 Pro Max. And I really was not happy with even the battery life on the 14 Pro Max. So even with the 15 Pro Max, I'm pretty much expecting about the same. I average about 6.5 hours of screen on time with the Pro Max. Now, I've seen some other people that I get 9 hours, I get 10 hours. Here's the thing. I use dark mode. I have the ProMotion display on. I do turn the brightness up some. Like, it always likes to automatically lower it down, so I'll put it up halfway, 60%, 70%, and then, it keeps going back down on its own, whatever. I hate iOS. It drives me crazy. But, yeah, 4.5 hours. That's really not good. And also, it keeps getting hot when I charge it. But it's weird because it only gets hot like the first time. When the battery gets low, it's like the battery charges faster when the battery is low. That's just how they work. That's why most of them with quick charge are like 50% battery charge, 30 minutes, but it takes like an hour and 20 minutes to charge the whole thing. As the battery gets more full, it slows down, tries to create less heat, and it's just less efficient at transferring. It's got to fill up the last cells of the battery. So yeah, from 0 to 50% usually takes like 30 minutes. Well, it does seem to charge from 0 to 50% pretty quick, but it gets really hot. So hot that it feels really warm even with the case on it. And it's really surprising to me that this is happening. I've heard other people talking about it as well, but yeah, that's something that's concerning to me. Some folks have also, I've heard like it gets hot when they're using it and other things. Somebody even said it was getting hot, so they took it back. That was a comment in yesterday's video. So I don't know what's going on with the heat stuff. I know there's like throttling and stuff going on, which is trying to prevent that heat, but it's really weird to me that we bumped down. We've got the 3nm processor. Like, I thought that would give us a little bit better battery life, but really the iPhone 15 Pro is basically identical to the battery life that I was getting last year in the 14 Pro, which wasn't good, which also sucked. So here's the thing. I know it's kind of apples and oranges and all that stuff, half a dozen in one hand, 6 in the other. Some people think 4.5 hours of screen on time is good. I'm not one of those people. Like, I saw somebody who posted almost identical stats to me on Twitter, and they're like, oh, this is good. Not too bad. 4.5 hours, 5 hours. I'm like, no, this is a pro level phone. Like, if you use the camera on this, it definitely will drain the battery much, much faster. So I'm like, if all you're doing is just basic things on the phone, sending some text messages, browsing Twitter, maybe watch a YouTube video too, and you can only get 4.5 hours of screen on time, that's terrible. That's especially terrible for a phone that has the word Pro in the name. So yeah, I'm probably going to wind up not keeping this phone. I'm going to have to use the 15 Pro Max. So I'm glad I got the 15 Pro Max while I was there, but it just really irks me and it hurts my heart because I like the Pro. I like the size of it. Like, it hasn't bothered me switching from the size of the Pro Max to the Pro. It hasn't bothered me having a smaller screen. Nothing about this phone has bothered me other than just the fact that the battery life's quite atrocious. It wouldn't even make it through the day. So if the phone won't make it through the day for me, there's no point in me carrying it. As much as I like the form factor, granted, I don't really carry an iPhone as a daily driver outside of like certain times of the year. Usually it's a foldable phone, or lately it's been my Pixel Fold or my Sony Xperia 1 Mark V. Every single flagship Android phone I've tested in the last year beats the pants off of the battery on this. We're talking 6 hours, 7 hours. Even the complaining that I do on the Pixel Fold is getting better battery life than this. Just slightly, just slightly. I mean, they're both like contenders for worst battery life of the year that I've experienced so far. But the Fold 5, way better battery life. The Z Flip 5, I get better battery life. The S23, way better battery life. Like, basically, if it's got Samsung, if it's got a Snapdragon 8 Generation 2, it gets better battery life from any phone I've tested other than this. So, yeah, I mean, even with Android and not waiting, right? Like, even if not going to the 5 days and getting the full battery optimization through adaptive battery, I still haven't had one perform this poorly. So, it's just really surprising to me. The new more I don't want to say more power efficient. It should be more power efficient. Like, the way that the chipsets work, the chip that's inside of here, it's a little bit smaller. The smaller they get, the more efficient they are for power whenever it comes to using battery life and generating heat and things like that. So it's concerning to me. It's troubling. Again, if you only use your phone 3 hours a day, then that's fine. You probably don't need a pro phone if you're only using it 3 hours a day. But if you get a pro level phone, you would expect that you could use it kind of normally and get through the day. And it's just not the case for me. Now, I know some people, yes, I'm sure it's going to work good for you. But for me, if you're a power user, if you're somebody who needs to use your phone extensively for a living, no, this one ain't it. So, kind of frustrating. I'm still going to hold on to this for a little bit longer. Probably going to make another video or two. Do some comparison stuff with the 15 Pro Max. But probably in the next day or two, I'll be switching over to the 15 Pro Max because 4.5 hours ain't it, chief. So, I'll test it again tomorrow. And we'll see how things go. I'm not going to make another battery video about this. The thing with Apple is they don't work the same way Android does. You don't need to wait 2, 3, 4, 5 days. I give it at least the first day, and then as long as the first day, we'll see how that goes. But generally, it's pretty good. I mean, when I got my iPhone 13 Pro, it went like 10, 11 hours the first day I got it. Battery life on the 13 and 13 Pro series, amazing. And then the 14 series went. And then the 15 Pro series is also equally not good. So I don't know what Apple has done. I don't know what the big change has been in the last 2 years, but really, really not impressed with this. It's very frustrating. It's also disappointing, and I'm so glad. And I talked about this last week. It was my big fear for this phone. And yeah, basically my big fear has been realized. The battery life on this phone is not good. And that's my verdict. I mean, if you only need 4 hours of screen on time, and screen on time is like the screen is on, you're actively using it. Not standby time, not I took it off the charger, it's sitting on my desk, actually actively using the phone with the screen on. Barely over 4.5 hours. No, that's terrible. So that's all I got in this video. Please go to the comment section. We can discuss this. Let me know your thoughts and feelings. I hope this was helpful. I hope it gave you some insight. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.